looking at the UI. It says that Hangout on air is live. We are live. Okay. Yo. So we talked. Let me put my phone on vibrate. And Bryan, how you say your last name? Joseph?
Yeah, Joseph. This is nothing special.
Okay, so you're like the second person that has actually reacted spontaneously to my invitation. So to recap, you're probably like, what the freak? Where did this come from? Who is Scott Nimrod? And well, I mean, I'm not really known, but you were an interesting person. So let me just tell you, we talked for like 5 seconds before I hit the record button. All right. So let me tell you what happened earlier this morning. All right. Was it this morning or this afternoon?
Well, you sent me a tweet like this morning.
Okay. All right. So I woke up. Yeah. I remember now because I was listening to it in the shower. All right. TMI. But okay. So I was listening to Elixir Fountain. Okay. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah. And guess who I was listening to?
I'm guessing that would be me.
And so I don't know anything about Elixir or Erlang, but I love learning about just how to build software and even alternative techniques to building software. So even though I attempted Erlang for like I think an hour, I bought a book, nothing clicked at all.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy this podcast called Elixir Fountain. Even though I have nothing to do with that ecosystem, I enjoy listening to it. Half the stuff I don't understand when they start going into details about like syntax and that whole little ecosystem. But they have some really interesting personalities and people that are very passionate about building, and it's completely. I think it's completely different, this Elixir or this Erlang from object-oriented programming. I could be wrong. Is Elixir pure functional language, or is it functional first?
It's pretty close to the pure functional language. Not so there aren't too many object-oriented aspects to it. Now, like some people will say that it is one of the few true object-oriented programming like languages just because of the whole like message passing thing, but I leave that to other people to argue. But it's mostly a functional language.
Okay, so for short, I came across you because I was scrolling through some episodes, and I'm sorry, but this is what happens. I'm like, holy crap, a black guy. And I clicked on it. I don't know if you're black or not. I don't know if you're black. You could be Haitian or Dominican. I don't know.
Let's just say I'm black. Cause,
okay.
Yeah, because like I have my grandfather on my mom's side is like this is where it gets weird. It's like half Mexican, half Irish, but pretty much the rest of it's black.
Okay. I'm in I'm like, hey, what's up? Because I'm surrounded by like Argentinians and Cubans, and they're like, and they're like speaking Spanish. I'm like, yo, I don't know where I'm at. I'm from up north, so things are a little bit different down here. But anyway, whatever. Yeah, I was listening, and you guys were talking about Elixir and something about, I don't even know how to say it correctly, transpilers or something dealing with basically converting, I guess, Elixir code or Erlang code to JavaScript. And even though I really know nothing about that area, like I hate JavaScript with a passion, with extreme prejudice. Like I won't do it, and I'm biased, and a lot of it's ignorance. I just feel like JavaScript, again, is my ignorance, isn't like an engineering technology. It's like a hacking technology, and like that's my belief system currently. I just refuse to entertain the idea, which is also harder for me to get jobs. So I tend to focus on native application development, whether it's desktop or mobile. And recently, I've been building it with Fsharp, the combination of Fsharp's object-oriented side, and for anything that has to deal with literal functions such as validation or anything else that could be put on the client side, I tend to use Fsharp for that too. So that's a little bit of a history. But
Yeah, so this thing, your Twitter profile, it had F# in there, and that's one of the languages I've actually been interested in for a while.
how's it going? Did you start yet? Did you start your journey?
Not really. Like, so actually, I guess when F# first came around, I was doing a lot of .NET development. But the last time I tried, it was like maybe maybe 6, 8 months ago, and I'm on a Mac now, and I tried setting up an environment, and I didn't get further than that. But it is something if I had to do like more .NET stuff, it would be something that I'll be interested in looking into. Because I know they
What's
have
it?
huh?
I'm sorry.
No, because I know they have F#. You know, F#. They have what is it? Is it called Fable? Is that the thing for?
Yeah, I believe so. I never really looked into it, but I think Fable is the. Well, hold up. No,
Or is it something else?
Fable is not the
JavaScript
web
one?
framework for it, is it? Oh, that's
Uh,
the.
I can't remember if it's the JavaScript thing or the web framework thing off the top of my head.
It might be the JavaScript one. I
Or
forgot the. I can't think of the name of it.
I look
Again, I
up
don't mess
Fable.
around with web, but I don't think Fable is the web framework. It might be a JavaScript what do you call it? Transpiler? What's the correct
Transpiler,
term?
yeah, that's what people call it. It's doesn't really matter. Compiler, transpiler, whatever.
You know, I'm on
Yeah, that's
10%
it.
battery, so I have to like transition towards an outlet.
No
But
worries.
yeah. Well, so the thing is you already have a head start, right? Because you're already like doing functional programming, and you already know about map, reduce, fold, and all that other stuff that is like I'm still not confident in, even though I have it in my code. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it honestly it took a while for me to. My first functional programming language is probably well, it was Scala, and that's where I first heard of not of map really, because I mean that was already at that point it was already in JavaScript, and C# has link, and I think I don't think it has a map, does it? It has like they have their own like names for things.
are you talking about Link and C#?
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but I went into Scala, and that's when I kind of like had had to learn a lot of the terms and
Yeah.
things like that.
I think with Link, I think it's the select
Yeah,
function
yeah.
where you get to, that's kind of like analogous to map within FP. Um, yeah, it's hard for me to go back to C# to crank out some domain logic. I still, C# is fine for me when I use C#'s partial class support for like interaction logic such as activities or any
Uh-huh.
other type of code behind focused on the user interface or user interaction. But since I'm a little bit, I sincerely believe I'm a little bit beyond beginner within F#. I'm
Hmm.
not saying I'm intermediate. I just think I'm a little further ahead than beginner.
Uh-huh.
I prefer not to write C# code anymore. I could probably still write C# code faster,
Uh-huh.
because I think in object oriented still.
Yeah.
I can go into a trance and just keep on going. Where F#, I'm like scratching my bald head, like, oh, how do I do this again? You
Right.
know, but it's a lot shorter and it actually looks nice for someone that has OCD, such as myself. When I do code reviews, man, I eat people alive. You know what I mean? And so, like, I'm in love with F# because it's like it complements my OCD. So
Yeah.
that's it, though.
That's kind of the way I was for a while, a pretty long time. I had pretty much before Elixir, my favorite language was Python. I guess unlike a lot of people in the Elixir community, I came from like more Python and not necessarily Ruby. But yeah, I can probably still write a lot of stuff faster in Python. Um, Even though actually, I don't write too much Python anymore. Um, but yeah, I'm still pretty fast. I can get something up and running pretty quickly in Python.
What do you focus on? Because I always thought that this is my ignorance, right? But I always thought that Python was like a SDETS tool. I'm not sure if SDET is a term used in Netherlands, but
Wait,
software
what is that?
development, engineering, test. Um, that's what I thought Python was popular for. Like, what would you use Python for? Is it just building tools, or do you actually build solutions with Python?
Um, I guess yes to all of that.
Okay.
Um, so I mostly did web development with it, but the other part I did a lot of is just building backend services and yeah, pretty much anything you would do with other things like the jobs that I've had in Python, they usually it's usually like a mix of like Python and Java. I guess for some reason those two go hand in hand. I don't know why, but um, it always seemed to be the mix.
Because they were always free. Where I don't know. I hear that like I'm speaking from ignorance. I'm gonna say that a lot, right? But I hear like the majority of the world, and maybe this is the .NET .Core is a response to this, perhaps. Again, I'm not too intimate about this, but like I hear a lot of complaints, especially with my contacts on the West Coast, like the Seattle, California area, where they're like, "Yo, licensing for building .NET solutions is just way too expensive." So like more and more businesses or enterprises are going open source or leveraging the Java stack. And I'm just curious if that's why you see a combination of Python and Java. I'm in the Midwest. I see a lot of .NET, and down here
Yeah.
in Miami, it's a lot of .NET too. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'm not sure what they do in New York, but it's probably
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, I know at least in New Orleans, I think a majority of the jobs here are still .NET and Java. There's a lot of Ruby. Like actually, I work for a mostly Ruby shop now that's transitioning to Elixir soon, hopefully. Um, and so yeah, and I think what you're saying is kind of correct in that like at least for a lot of startup type companies or like companies that don't have like lots of money to throw at licenses, it seemed that they were going towards open source things, technologies, and I think that's a really big reason why Microsoft is doing the things that they're doing now. They see that they have to, they have to go where the developers are going, and developers are mostly these days. I don't know. A large majority. There's a good section of developers that are on like Mac OS and Linux, so um, they have to come to those. And most of, most of the servers in the world are Linux, right? So they have to,
Yeah, that's what I heard.
yeah. So they have to do something.
It makes you wonder, like, I feel like it's a race to the bottom with everything that is software development. So like as you say that, I'm thinking about like Windows, Azure, and AWS or Amazon, right? And
Yeah.
like I don't know that much about Amazon.
Mm.
I've I downloaded a Ubuntu book, or however you say that operating system, when I used to try to write some code to interact with the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I know like Azure I I hear I hear news that Azure just keeps dropping their price or updating their price to compete and get more market, even though I think they recognize that they lost against Amazon Web Services. But like it seems like I don't know. I feel like software development, even though I have always told people that software development is a combination of art and philosophy
Yeah.
with some science. I feel like it's feeling more and more like art, and we're becoming starving artists. Like people don't recognize that humans are behind these applications that are solving problems or that are preventing you from being bored. And I think they take it for granted. And it's like things are costing less and less, and I find myself having to um, try to provide an argument of why I charge what I charge. Your thoughts on it? Is it a race to the bottom? Or are things getting cheaper, or are things getting more expensive?
So at least, with those services like, I guess the big ones are AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. What do they call themselves now? Google Cloud. I don't know. Google Cloud. Hardware and hardware, that stuff gets cheaper. Um, so they can pass on the savings. And then they just get better at it. So that's some extra savings. I think now as far as, but things like bandwidth and I guess the actual compute time, that still can cost just because there's only a limited amount of compute time. I was gonna say bandwidth. I guess there's a limited amount of bandwidth too, I guess. Um,
I
those
think the
things can
military
still,
owns half of it.
yeah. It's like I don't know what I want to say. Except yeah, don't like with hardware getting cheaper, it's easier for like the prices to drop on those kinds of things. As to why we cost so much, um, I don't know.
I think the price is going down.
The price
Like
going down. It could be. I mean, I still feel like even if you don't know what to charge, just like look at your life and your lifestyle and like see how much it costs per month to like just you know live at your certain lifestyle, and charge accordingly to that. Um, like
I
there's a
choose my
minute,
lifestyle. I said I choose my lifestyle,
right?
but I'm not sure if I can sustain it though.
Yeah. So I mean, there's like minimums, right? Like you have to pay rent, you have to like, well, I guess you have to now have health insurance, you have to like, do all that kind of stuff.
Got to have
Um,
rims. I got to have just a bump and sound system. Like I mean, yo, like
yeah.
no, but I mean, I, I don't know. I think we invest a lot in ourselves. I really do think that software developers that adopt software development as a lifestyle, I don't think they're any different from, again, I'm speaking from ignorance, right? Because I don't really know, I'm not best friends with any lawyers or doctors, but like, you got to stay up to date and you got to invest so much to make sure that you are on point. And I don't know, man. I just feel like it's kind of hard to convey that to potential customers that hey, this is what separates you from other people um, that may be providing you a quote. I understand that your concern is the hourly rate, but I need you to try to focus on the hourly productivity that I will provide, and this is why. And I'm finding a hard time trying to articulate that because how do you really quantify it? You know what I mean? But this is as a consultant. You are you a full-time employee?
Yeah, I am now. Just because I really wanted to, I really wanted to get into a place where I can like just do Elixir, and that's pretty much the only thing I want to do.
I heard that. How's that
Um,
working out for you?
so I'm not,
Have it.
yeah, so I'm not doing Elixir right now. But hopefully, by the end of the year, maybe that will be the case.
Do you believe them? Did they like they go a carrot in front of you and say Elixir, and then once you got in, they're like, "Yo, we need you to do some like Ruby or whatever."
Well, I mean, that did kind of happen, but
Okay.
no,
I
there.
want you
I
to get
mean,
yourself in trouble. So
no, I've known the owners for a pretty long time, and I've talked to them. It seems like years now about Elixir, and as it's gotten more and more popular, they've gotten more and more interested in it, and so the timing was right, and just made the leap of faith. So, um, yeah, I think it's a good company, so I think we're gonna get it done.
and it is Elixir. How do I say this? What's the adoption like for Elixir? Is it just all about startups that are leveraging this, or has it really been adopted within the enterprise? Like these Fortune 500 companies are actually like, or maybe a fraction of them are actually leveraging Elixir as a serious technology.
Yeah, so there are. Let's see. So I want to say, so there's companies that have been using, Elixir is based on the Erlang platform, and that's been around for like 30 years now. And so that's been in a lot of places that need like soft real-time properties, for instance, like banking or like what is stock trading, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And what else? Auction software.
Now, you
Um,
said soft real time.
yeah. So not like hard real time where if you don't get this thing done within this, I don't know, certain milliseconds, then um, everybody dies. But like somewhere like not like it has to be done within this time constraint, but like I guess as soon as possible. I don't know. I don't. I just
Because
something
I
like that.
don't know what you said. I keep on hearing stories about how with like Erlang, I'm not sure with Elixir, like they
Well, it's
can
pretty much the
do.
same. They have the same properties. It's just like basically different languages on the same. Like
They all distill down to some like intermediate language or something, or
yeah, like the same way
some
that
level above bytecode.
yeah, like the same way like F# to C#. It's kind of like
Yeah,
this. It's kind of like that.
Missile
Yeah.
or Microsoft Intermediate Language.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that like they're able to. I'm not going to be able to use the right terminology, but I hear stories of them like basically just updating, or extending the software live without having to shut it down. Or I can't think of
Yeah.
the right
Yeah.
terminology. Well, is there a way
Um.
to articulate that better?
Is I guess was it hot code swapping? I think.
Yeah, that's hot something, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't used that property just yet. But I guess to go back to that question. So I know that Pinterest is using it a little bit. There's like a lot of sports sites, like Bleacher Report is pretty big on it. Um, like either FanDuel or DraftKings or both, they use it.
I thought
Um,
WhatsApp or some
yeah,
Spanish
WhatsApp.
company.
They started off using Erlang, and they might be using some Elixir now. Um,
Okay.
but that's kind of like, I think that got a lot of people interested in it, in in the Erlang platform in general, just from that whole like they have like the whole thing about having 2 million connections on a single server, that kind of got people interested.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So you know what gets me interested?
what's that?
Hourly rate. Like, okay, so not using yourself as an example, but like, have you investigated a contractor's hourly wage, maybe in your area or some other area within the states? Like, what's the average billing? Do they make as much as a Java developer? Hopefully, they make more. I don't know, man. Like, tell me they're billing at like $115 an hour, and then I'll be an Elixir developer.
I mean, I have not looked, but
Okay.
I uh I mean, I would hope that the rates were at least as much. It's growing, like it's growing as extremely fast, like in popularity, and in the size of the community. But it's still, compared to you know Java and JavaScript and those kind of things, it's still a smaller community.
Okay.
Um,
And do you have a? Again, I discovered you on Elixir Fountain. How
yeah.
did it? How did that start? Was it random like I did, or was it a conference that you attended, or an article, a blog that you maintain? Like, how were you discovered?
Um. So I guess I've been around the Elixir community, not at the start, but like before it was like 1.0. I was getting into it and talking to some people there, and then I got the opportunity to go to and so I was talking to a lot of people on the mailing list. Um, and then I got the opportunity to go to Elixir Conf in 2015. Like I got to talk about Elixir script there. And that was my first, honestly,
Baptism.
my first tech conference, my first time speaking.
How did
So
that go?
it went pretty well. Like it was, I've done a lot of presentations at meetups here, but I never really practiced that. I practiced for like a month to make sure I had everything. I was like, it's gonna be recorded. I don't need to mess up at all.
and
But it went
it
pretty
pretty
well.
much went smooth. Were there any famous Erlang or Elixir developers in the audience that were like grilling you? Like,
I honestly I wasn't paying attention. Even I
okay,
think I didn't look at the video really, but I feel like I was just looking like not at the crowd the entire time.
yeah,
But no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the entire experience there. And anyway, I met Johnny Wynn at there was a party for the speakers the night before the conference started, and I met him there and talked to him for a while. And I was actually on another episode that was the part of the last thing that was at Elixir Conf that year. There was like a panel, and I was on the panel, which I still to this day don't know why they put me on the panel, but whatever. Um,
were you active on the panel or were you just
I was
listening, observing?
I was I was as active as I felt comfortable around like the people that were there. Like, there's Josie Valim, who was, who created Elixir, and Chris McCord, and um, other people who were like
Gods.
basically like pretty much like the founders, like the founding fathers of Elixir, and it's like me.
So,
But
like, how often do you, out of curiosity, like have this? I assume you're talking about like imposter syndrome, or are you just saying I know my stuff, but compared to these people, like I don't belong on the same platform?
yeah, I just I mean, because this is the first like community that I've ever been a part of, really. Like it's the first one that I felt like, creating libraries for. It's the first one I felt like actually, talking to the people in it. Um, so it was all kind of a new experience for me, and other people, you don't really know anybody else's background, but you talk to these people and you think that they're smarter than you, and most of them,
Yeah.
a lot of them are. I mean, it's I don't know. I guess a little bit of imposter. Yeah, actually, it was imposter syndrome when I was there. I was like, I did feel like, um, I don't know how to put it. I just felt kind of out of
Out of
place.
place.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
is this real? Am I really like? Do these people like Do they do they like me? Do they like my work? So, but everybody was really really nice. I definitely enjoyed my time there. At
So
the conference.
you're gonna do it again? Is this gonna be like, how do I say this? Can you see yourself being a conference speaker, like regularly, or was this more of a bucket list within your career?
It was. I actually treated it like as like every year I try to. I like to do like just something out of my comfort zone, I guess, and that was so yeah. It was more like a bucket list thing, but I do want to go to more conferences. I didn't go to the one this year, which is in Orlando, because honestly, I have a fear of flying, and
Yeah, I heard you expressed that on Elixir Fountain.
yeah, and yeah, on there too. I married an ex flight attendant. I don't know how these things happen to me. Um,
Yeah.
but she always is trying to get me to fly, and I'm gonna try to make it like my thing for like 2017. Like the last
Yeah,
place I flew was Jamaica for a honeymoon, and before that it was actually in Miami. I went to Miami, um, and before that it was Seattle. But no, I don't really.
that's nothing. I'm scared of flying,
Uh,
but I would fly out. I would take a 20-hour flight to the Philippines like every 4 months.
wow.
I hated it. Like it got really bad. One time there were like some tornadoes in the Midwest, and I was flying from
Mhm.
Miami to Detroit. That's where my connecting flight was, and then
Uh-huh.
from Detroit to Nagoya, Japan, however you say it, and then from Japan to the Philippines, Manila. And so there were like some tornadoes like in the Midwest that we were flying over,
Yeah.
and this plane was shaking like crazy, right? And unfortunately, like I decided to quit religion, right? I decided to release my religious beliefs that I was brought up in, and I kind of regret it because like it got really bad that like I'm 6'7", I'm kind of a big dude, and I'm
Yeah.
like like on this like crowded airplane, and like this flight attendant walked up to me because like I was ignorant on this flight because the plane just kept on rocking, and I don't know. I think I'm just like you. Maybe you're a little bit worse than I am because with me it's usually taking off that I
Yeah.
have like an anxiety attack because you're
Yeah.
riding on
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
bomb. You're riding on like probably 5,000 gallons of fuel. That's a bomb. And if I don't die instantly, I'm going to burn alive. And I have a visual of this because I have a very vivid imagination. So I see myself burning alive, covering all this oil, right? And then it's this descending, right? Which I'm scared of. Usually when we're in cruising mode, I'm good, but not when the plane's going like this because it's flying over some tornadoes. And so this flight attendant was trying to convert me to Christianity, which I'm not sure
What?
it's a good thing or not because he was like, "What's
Like in the middle
wrong?"
of a flight?
Yeah, in the middle of this plane rocking back and forth, he's like, "What's wrong?" Not really. My family is. He's like, well, if you accept Jesus as your savior, this and the other. And I'm like, are you supposed to be having this conversation with me? I understand you want to help me, but so yeah, mine was pretty bad, you know. Um, yeah, I then jumped out of a plane 3 months ago, and
Nope, not doing it.
well, I didn't want to do it either, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I was going through some issues, man. I couldn't get my mind off of something that I was struggling with for a long time.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. never done drugs before. I don't want to do that because I don't want to get hooked, right? I don't want
Yeah.
to self-medicate myself, but I really need to like jolt my body. And I'm like, Google, jump out of plane, Miami. And then I had went ahead and booked a package for that weekend. And then I had brought someone for emotional support. They tagged along with me. They didn't jump out the plane with me. And then once I was 10,000, what is it, 10,000 feet above the ground,
Yeah.
they're like, actually, I'll send you a link. Once I was 10,000 feet above the ground, they're like, all right, let's go. They opened up the hatch and the wind started blowing. I'm like, man, nah, I changed my mind. I paid like, I think $400 for it, but I didn't want to do it anymore, man. Like, all of a sudden I started thinking about life and how pleasant life was, you know what I mean? And they ended up shoving me out the plane anyway. And it was my brain was like going crazy. It had no clue what was happening. I'm busy spinning. I didn't know which way was up, which way was down. It was, I'm glad I did it.
Uh-huh.
I would never do it again, ever. Most people will, they're
Yeah.
like, yo, we gotta do this again. That was awesome. They're like, Scott, you gonna do it again? I'm like, hell no, man. I belong on planet Earth, man. That's not
Like
designed for me. I did
tried
it
it,
once.
didn't like
I'm
it.
happy. What's up?
So he's like tried it, didn't like it.
I did it because I was going through some things, and
Yeah.
so I used it as I used it to shift my mind towards something else because it was getting bad
Hmm.
what I was going through, and yeah, it worked until I planted my feet back on planet Earth, and then my problems came right back again. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but I mean, at the end, here's the thing. I mean, I could live to be an old man if I make it that long, and not really trip on never having to jump out of a plane to face my fear. Um, but I'm really glad that I didn't conquer my fear of heights at all.
Hmm.
But I'm happy that I had the experience to challenge it, even though I'm still afraid. I
Yeah.
am. That's one less thing that I have to worry about being a coward of. And
Yeah.
one of my biggest fears in life is to feel like I died a coward and have all this regret, hours before my death on my
Yeah.
deathbed. So not to get too warped, but seriously, man, that drives a lot of what I do, man. I don't want to be a coward, man. If I could do it now, then I feel like, yo, I don't want to waste my life just thinking about things and saying no, 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 which is a huge reason why I don't know you at all, but
Yeah.
you gained a lot of respect from me when you just okay, yeah, I'll record a conversation with you because I won't say I was rude, but I didn't provide any context. I'm like, hey, you want to record a conversation with me? I just left that at that. And so for you
Yeah.
to like just say, yeah, it's whatever, let's go. I'm like, yo, that's what's up. I want to be around people like this, man.
Yeah.
So,
What you didn't see is the whole like background investigation I did on you before I said yeah.
oh, okay. I wasn't sure what would actually what came up when you looked me up. You didn't see my YouTube videos, did you?
I'd seen well I went, to your Twitter page and then I saw like well I went down that and then I saw like I guess it's your blog where you had the videos
Yeah.
and I just went to the first one and I was like, okay, this is
All right.
cool.
I know what this is about.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, who's this Scott Nimrod? Why is this dude contacting me?
Yeah.
So,
But no, it's no, I'm glad you did. It was a it's been a good conversation. Like what you just said about having regrets and being a coward or whatever. It's kind of because I don't like to fly like this, and because I did like Elixir Conf in 2015, I got a lot of you know people asking me to speak at different conferences all over the place. This year, and I'll just be like, no, can't
are you
do it.
serious?
Sorry. Yeah.
They're willing to fly you out there.
Some of them were, and I was like, some of them I told my wife some of them, and she'd be like, "Why aren't you doing it?" Some of them I'd be like, "I'm not telling her because I don't want to even hear it." But no, it's like there were so many, there's only so many times that people will like reach out to you and ask you to like do certain things, and so I know those opportunities that I missed, and I'm hoping that
To get it back.
yeah, to to yeah, when if somebody asks me to go somewhere, then just to get the courage to get on the plane and go.
Unless there's something greater than talking about software. Unless there's opportunity costs in regards to family or something else that you have interest in that's not related.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get into motorcycles now, which I think is healthy, but I scare people to death. I don't know. You ride bikes?
No, I
You
don't even
said
know how
no,
to.
pretty like no, hell no, like
I don't even know how to ride a regular bike, so
oh
motorcycles are definitely out.
okay. I tell people it's like owning your own personal roller coaster, except you control how fast you go, you control the turns. But something that's kind of disturbing. I'm down here again. I'm down here in Miami now, and
Yeah.
I recorded a. This is not going to do well for me. I recorded a police chase yesterday with the group that I was riding with. I'm not going to put that up there. It's on my Facebook Live though. But something that kind of disturbs me that I'm kind of thinking twice about, and maybe I'll put up. Maybe I'll stop riding. When I like start having my own family, I have something greater than myself to live for.
Yeah.
Um, but like, every other week down here, I'm not sure how large New Orleans or Nylands is in regards to population. I'm not sure if it's 500,000 or a couple million. But here in Miami, I promise you, every other week, I get notified on Instagram by the biker enthusiast group. I can't say
Uh-huh.
biker gang, the biker enthusiast group.
Yeah.
Someone that got killed, right?
Oh wow.
I got one this morning, and either they got killed on their motorcycle or they got paralyzed on their motorcycle, or like 2 weeks ago, they got murdered in a carjacking. And so it's like living it. It kind of makes you like think twice about what you enjoy and the thrill of it, because it could also, like, I don't know, mess you up for life if you
Yeah.
even live. So it makes you think about your mortality. You know what I mean? Even though like ah, I love thrills and I love like putting myself out there somewhat. I guess there has to be some type of balance between living life and really living life versus being somewhat intelligent and not risking your life. You know what I mean? I don't know how to articulate that, but
Yeah. I do know that I think I don't know who told me this, but it's like with a motorcycle, I mean you can have fun, but you pretty much have to be like paying attention 100% of the time.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. I almost got ran over today. I almost got ran over like 3 hours ago.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I average a near collision every other day.
Yeah.
It's annoying, and the thing is like it's exactly what they said. You just have to be on point. You have to act like everybody wants to mow you down.
Yeah.
And the other mental challenge is you have to control your urge to retaliate. You have to control screaming at people. Whatever energy you put out, man, 9 times out of 10, they're going to return it right back, right? And
Yeah.
because I'm a bigger dude and because I'm a minority, when the police come, I'm going to be the first person that they want to neutralize, right? They
Yeah.
don't know anything about me. So there's certain things I have to be aware of. All right, enough about motorcycles. And feel free to like end this conversation whenever. I understand you may have other obligations, but I wanted it to be somewhat software related and just conversation, in general with two tech guys. So it's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
I'm enjoying it. I was
Yeah.
the only thing I have to do is I'm just looking. I have like a startup with a friend of mine, and we've been like wrestling with the PayPal API to like basically pay people, and I'm like anxiously looking at my email to see if there's an error that comes up,
Oh
but so
yeah.
far nothing.
You're not intimidated by PayPal? I get like these emails that I'm almost positive are scam artists talking about, hey, we updated your, it's either PayPal or eBay. Hey, we
Hmm.
updated your account. Log in for us. Here's the link.
Oh
And
yeah, don't do that.
yeah, so it's like I don't even want to mess around with PayPal anymore or eBay because they keep. I mean, I think I'm smart enough to look at the URL, but I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But I used to get into Bitcoin. I wrote a Bitcoin app. It's called Coinbase Connect. They probably took it down. It was a Windows 8 app that I wrote like maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
It was a cool app. And people just go ahead and type in their username and their password for Bitcoin. I mean, I don't do anything with it. I don't even know what it is because all that stuff is encrypted. But
Yeah.
yeah, do,
Hmm.
how do you think you're going to be able to encourage people to use or to trust your services?
Oh, okay. So the name of the app is digital tip jar, and so if it actually started as a hackathon project 3 years ago, and so people have been using it even back in we updated it this year, but people were even using like basically the hackathon version for the last 3 years, and people kept signing up and using it, and I'm sitting there like, why are people using this thing? And so finally we just like started to make it like a real thing, and so this year we got actually the city gave us a grant for like a small amount to do some things, and we used that to basically relaunch it. So I guess what I want to say is that the I guess the trust value is that people have been using it for a while, and um, that's about it. My trust is not in PayPal though. I do not. I don't know if I should be saying this on the air, but yeah, I don't know if I could depend on PayPal.
So when you say people are using it, like how many people? Is it like
Well, it's not
ten,
like millions. It's
a
more
thousand
like,
people?
yeah, somewhere around that. And I mean, primarily it's we've been tailoring it towards musicians and creators and things like that, because they're the type of people you know who live off of tips, like local street musicians and creators, things like that. Um, Especially here in New Orleans, where it's like a really big music culture. Um,
Nashville too.
yeah, there's a bunch of places we found, and some of and like one thing we noticed is that there's a lot of people online that have been using it too. Like I think somebody told me they was like in some game communities forum, and they were saying to tip them from digital tip jar, and I was like, wow, I didn't know it was that serious. Um,
So what's the? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh, no problem. You can go ahead.
So have you looked into Bitcoin?
We have, and so now actually we use for people to like tip the creators, we use Stripe, and They have a way that you can, that they can pay via Bitcoin, but we haven't
Okay.
actually enabled that.
Yeah, I guess Bitcoin isn't really mainstream, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patreon. I use Patreon for Developer on Fire. Are you familiar with that podcast show?
I am. I subscribe to it, but I haven't listened to too many episodes. But I am subscribed to it.
Yeah, they. I think Patreon is a website where you can financially provide some type of financial admiration uh, to content providers, or no, they don't even have to be content providers. Just whoever has an account on Patreon. I haven't looked into it for myself because I don't feel like I'm really producing anything. But I've donated, some pocket change to some people that have really helped me over a long period of time, and I'm like, yo, let me like give this person like $25 because like they've always answered my questions for like the past 24 months in this Fsharp, so I try to give back a little bit. That's cool though. So when you gonna make your first million off of this?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess Patreon is because Patreon, we were around. I mean, we're basically like we're extra small. We have before like that grant that we got like this year. I mean, we didn't have any money. It's extra, bootstrap. There's no investing or anything like that. But yeah, when Patreon came around, I was like, well, I guess this is the thing that's gonna win. But we have like, while they're like, kind of like more of the, donate money, I guess, every month or whatever, like a recurring thing.
Yeah.
We're trying to be like, an in the moment, a one time thing, but like mostly in like the real world, like, I definitely don't carry cash on me too much anymore, but there might be times when I want to like to give somebody a tip, and that's basically been the main focus. Um,
Yeah. My worries are. I know it's going to happen eventually, right? Is
mhm.
no matter what city I'm in, people think I'm a ball player. Like I can't.
Cause you're tall.
I can grab boards, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I'm sick on defense, man. I'm an animal, man. I play like prison ball, you know what I mean? I don't even like scoring. I'll just block shots, throw you an elbow, take the ball from you, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But that's it. But a lot of people think that I'm some like professional athlete or some retired athlete. And like, especially when I'm in other countries. But
yeah.
like for whatever reason, it could be like 20 people in Starbucks.
Hmm.
They will come to me to ask me to feed them, or they want to use my cell phone or whatever. But
Oh
like
wow.
whenever people ask me for money, like on the streets, I was like, yo, I'm sorry, I don't carry cash, man. I only use my bank card,
Yeah,
and yeah, I got cash on me. Like I might have a couple dollars on me, but nah, man, you gotta perform. You gotta do something to get this money. But 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 I know based on the context of what we're talking about, well, we're approaching 2017. It's only a matter of time where them dudes gonna be pulling out like Square or whatever technology. I'm like, yo,
yep.
I take bank card. What you got? You got Visa, you got MasterCard? I got you. Go ahead. And I'm gonna hate that, man. And that will probably only be a first world like issue when like, crackheads on the street start carrying like swipe devices to get money from people. Then what excuse you gonna have? Like I don't
Right.
have any money on me. I don't have any plastic, no cash. So That's it. Yo,
Yeah.
you ready to end this, man? I really appreciate this conversation. We talked about some programming, yeah, and
Yeah, there's programming in there.
what's next for you in regards to technology? Are you taking a break from basically the public spotlight, or are there hobbies or family you want to focus on? Like, describe the next 6 months of which you would like to focus on, or if it's just nobody's business what you do.
Well, I don't know if I'm in the public spotlight or not, but I mean, just honestly, these days I've been trying to not be so stressed out. Like, so I'll do things like every day. I'll go to the gym. This is a morning routine. Like, I'll drop my wife off at work, then go to the gym, then come back and work. I might for lunch. I'll go for a jog. Just things to like, just kind of get out and just do some things. I should probably get back into music eventually.
What do you play? Saxophone?
I played. Well, if you look around this room, you would think I play everything, but no, I mostly do like basically just hip hop beats and whatever. That was pretty much my thing for like since I was like 17, 18.
All right, you
Um,
ready? Hold on. You ready? What's it called? Fruit Loops?
Fruity Loops, FL
Fruity
Studio,
Loops?
or whatever. Yeah, that's what I actually started on, and then but I've been using
Sonar
a beat
something.
machine. Huh?
There's another product called Sonar.
That sounds familiar. I think that's the name. I know what you're talking about though. Um,
Because I think we all have friends that are like music producers, but I heard some dope tracks. I always
yeah.
like freestyle to it, and yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm that guy. I'm that person. So I don't know. But I haven't really
get the
been.
hot fire.
I haven't done. I think I've done like one beat this entire year, and that's that's unacceptable when I was doing like five a day at one point. So I need to get back. And it was. I mean, it's more like a relaxing thing than anything else. Like it's just sit in my office slash studio, turn the lights down, and just
That chopped and screwed. Is that what
yeah.
y'all do in New Orleans? Or is that just Texas?
That's pretty much Texas, and
Okay.
even down here, like most of it, like well, not most of it, but bounce is a thing down here, and I don't know, maybe it's just because like I was born and raised down here, but my family's from like the West Coast, and I don't know, I just bounce is not my thing. I
What's
actually like it.
bounce?
Huh?
What's bounce? I mean, I think about like no limit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Trying to
uh.
think of
Okay.
a bounce song. I don't know. I can't even think of I can't. If you
You
look up
got it.
bounce on Google,
Dun,
you'll
dun,
you'll
dun,
see.
dun, dun, which is one of
But
the
no,
hardest tracks ever.
yeah, yeah. But I'm mostly into like West Coast hip hop, so that's kind of been my like kind of that style. Um, but yeah, uh, that's all I got.
Who's your favorite group? Whether they're current today or from back in the day.
Oh well, I've had my favorite group of all time is probably gonna be a Tribe Called Quest. Um,
Really? You know what I expected you to say is
what?
UGK.
No, I mean I like UGK, but Tribe Called Quest is probably my favorite, definitely.
Okay. Okay. One of them died recently.
Yeah, Fife Dog, he died.
Okay. Okay. I don't know that much about hip hop.
Hmm.
Um, last question, potentially, is
Okay.
this is going to be a debate. Okay. Still focused on music. I have this argument. It almost erupts to like fist fights in a car on the way to the nightclub. Um, what was the best year of hip hop?
Oh wow.
Be very careful in your answer.
The best year of hip hop.
Uh-huh.
I always say like it had to. I always say like '98 is a strong contender.
98?
'98, yeah. There was
Oh,
a lot of
but Pac died in 96. You're saying 98.
yeah. Uh, let's see. I would say no. '96 is definitely up there. Uh, but just that whole era, actually. I mean, all the way up to like maybe
98 was dominated. 98 was essentially okay. So when Pac Biggie died, hip hop really went full throttle commercial with Hot Boys or Cash Money, and so
yeah,
everything started being all about bragging about material possessions and look how fly I am. This is why I'm hot. You know, dust off your shoulders, etc. And you claim that that's the best year of hip hop?
well, that's also the year that was it Most Def and Talib Kweli's that album came out, which is like one of
Okay.
my favorite albums. Um, like I like a lot of like underground hip hop, and like if you look at '98, like that's a pretty good year. Um, I don't
Ja
maybe
Rule,
most
I
Def,
mean, he was huge. Ja Rule was like the silverback. He was King Kong of 98, 99.
yeah,
Ja Rule's hard. Like I like Ja Rule. Like
I had his first album.
watch videos today. But okay, so you gave the wrong answer. Okay.
Okay,
Are you ready?
okay,
1994. Now,
'94. That the wait did that the first Outkast come out '94?
everybody, okay? Everybody. So you had the Dirty South, right? You
Yeah,
you had Lauryn Hill, right? You still
Lauryn
had
Hill.
like Pac, Biggie. You had Bone Thugs. I'm from Cleveland. Right? So
Oh,
you
okay.
had Bone. Are you ready for this? You had Do or Die. You know what I
Oh
mean?
wow,
Like
Paul Pimpin'.
'94 was the year where it was absolutely beautiful and cool for every artist to be who they are, not to copy other people's signatures.
Yeah.
All right, not everybody get on the voice box. Not everybody rap or sing like Drake. No. '94 is when LL Cool J was LL Cool J, right?
Hmm.
1994 was like, of course, UGK. They were there. Scarface. Woo! The album Untouchable. Like, y'all don't want to get me started. You know what? The majority of the developers that are listening to this, they have no clue what I'm talking about now. They listen to like rock and roll or something or classical music. So, all right, good stuff, man. But yeah, 1994. I want you to revisit 1994 in hip hop, and maybe we'll go back and forth on Twitter if you finally agree with me on the best year of hip hop, because it was cool to be who you were and to deliver the message how you wanted to deliver it. And then, I think Pac died September 13th, 1996. I could be wrong. Biggie died like 6 months later, I believe. And then like things just started going more commercial and more uniform, which it is
Yeah.
what it is. But like, I respect people for what they represent, not what commercial industry or companies want them to sell for them. So it's pretty messed up. Artists aren't artists anymore. They're just models that rent a whole bunch of gold chains and rent a whole bunch of cars and promote businesses that they're not even affiliated with, and they don't even understand that, man. You got me pissed off now, man. But
I would just say like there's I mean if you look underground, not like mainstream, even like the mainstream like people that are mainstream today, it's a little bit different now. I think it's actually like in a good place.
mm,
You just have to look.
I don't know. This is one
Don't
of the
look on the
biggest
radio.
things. I don't really watch TV anymore.
Yeah.
I'm learning how I'm dating again, and for whatever reason, I think you have to be able to relate to society. Society, at least in Western culture, I don't get it, but it 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 is it is actually embraced for you to be a spectator and talk about what other people are doing and how great other people are versus what your aspirations are. So like, I'll I'll be chilling listening to music with a significant other, and like they're absolutely surprised how I have no clue who these like celebrities are,
Yeah.
or who these rappers or singers are, and I'm like, sorry, can't relate.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I should start watching TV a little bit so I can at least be able to socialize and laugh with people. Has that been an issue? Are you connected? Are you wired?
Uh, kind of.
Yeah, I think
Like,
really hard about that.
I mean, the only TV I really watch is, let me see, football. I kind of watch Love and Hip Hop, which is actually on right now, and that's
Okay,
pretty
I'm
much
gonna let
it.
you go. I'm gonna let you watch that. All right.
Everything else is like Netflix.
Okay. Yeah, same here. I watch a lot of documentaries.
Yeah.
That are well documentaries and movies. I can't really get into I don't know whatever the term is. What's the term?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later. I'll tell you on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Cool.
All right, Brian, man. I want to let you get to your love and hip hop or whatever it's called. Hey, good stuff, man. Thank you for accepting this, and I have fun. We did talk about something techie, but I just want to meet people that work in the same space that I work in. Even though we use different technologies, I still think it's cool to talk about things in technology and just talk about things in life. So I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for reaching out, and we're following each other now. So I'm going to be looking forward to one of your tweets about the next conference you're going to be speaking at. And this is peer pressure. And yeah, good stuff. So thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks.
Oh, shoot. Which reminds me, I'm not sure if it's important to you. If you do want to market yourself or whatever, but I mean, do you want people to know your Twitter username if they're interested in Elixir or whatever you want to help people with?
Oh, uh, yeah, sure. Well, I'm pretty much Bryan JOS pretty much everywhere. So Twitter, GitHub, uh, Reddit, which I'm never really posting on Reddit, but yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Hey, good stuff, Brian. Do you maintain a technical blog too?
Uh, yeah, BryanInspired.com, but I don't post there a lot.
Okay.
Maybe once a year.
All right. Well, I'm getting ready to hit this stop broadcast button. Is there anything else you want to say before I tap this stop button?
Nah.
All right. All right. Well, good stuff. Thank you. You can hang up if you like when I hit this, or we can say goodbye after. I don't care. I'm hitting the stop button. 3, 2, 1.